Welcome to Stoopside Sit Down Podcast. Stoops across the world has always been a social atmosphere, a sense of togetherness, the birthplace of conversation. We created this platform because we are a new breed of conversation shift changers. Step into it. Everyone has a story to tell. Our steps, your story, let's share. Hey, good peoples! Welcome to Stoopside Sit Down Podcast. And as always, I'm your girl, Just Tosh. And joining me are my lovely co-hosts.
I'm a bad habit, the one you love to love. Let's get to it.
Mm.
And I am Tyga.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's up, ladies? How are y'all? And,
Hey.
In the building,
in the
on the
building,
steps.
on the stoop. So I want to welcome our friend to the show, Mr. Kiki. Shout out to Kiki. How are you?
What's
Welcome to
going on? Hello,
Stoopside Sit
hello.
Down.
Happy to
So
be here. Happy to
Yes.
be on the stoops.
Kiki is here to
Holla.
chime in for the verbal roles of the day. So
Mhm.
let's just get into the verbal roles, which is the topic of the day, which is the theory of men who only have daughters. I don't know. I have a habit of repeating the topic twice just because if you didn't hear it from the back. So the theories of men who only have daughters.
Mm.
So I wanted to chime in first, and then I also want the ladies to chime in, and then lastly, I want that male to chime in, Mr. Kiki,
All
to
right.
chime in.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you my theory. So I do know that, of course, when it comes to like scientific, right? We know that there is no like the probability of men having children or having girls is just like men are the ones that are the determining factors of the sex, right? However, since I know all of that, I know all of the facts. I want to focus on the theory. So my theory is that when I see men with daughters, like five daughters, three daughters, a lot of girls, I'm always like, man, that man he had his equipment going every which way, left, right. And-
Time of my
yeah,
life.
yeah, that equipment was everywhere. and, and he was CD and
Not the CD. Whoa.
That community.
You was CD.
He was
yep,
servicing the community. Okay.
servicing the community. And
Okay.
so now, right, that he have girls, right,
Yeah.
he got a
Yeah.
pipe down, right? And so it's like a lot of times too, you'll find that the men, it's like because they were whores, and also to not just necessarily whores, but maybe to men who may have mistreated women, right, or may not have
Mhm.
been emotionally available. So having daughters is a way for them to um, practice self-awareness on how it is or what to see, like a different sense of a different lens of how
Mhm.
girls, how we women or girls go through. So
Mm.
that's my theory.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'd love to know what
Well,
you guys think.
I mean, I'm definitely piggybacking off of what just Tosh said. We all know the biology of it, but that's not what we're talking about. Because
Right.
I know once upon a time, not long ago, you was a hoe.
Yeah.
You admitted it.
Yes.
And that's the karma. That's what the universe came to bring your ass back. Let me tell
Mhm.
you something. I have three
Mhm.
sons and a daughter. And I know my husband was fearful when he found out that I was having that girl. He thought he was safe because he bust them three
Mm.
boys out. But guess who came to top it right on off? was that girl. And it's not that he was, disrespectful or anything like that, but just, the way he was moving back then, I'm
Yeah.
definitely sure he didn't want at that time somebody, his daughter to meet somebody like him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that in a bad way, because once you come from it and you realize what you've done, you can move forward. But I do feel there's definitely some kind of karma
Something
in the
true.
universe
Mm-hmm.
that be
Yep.
like, oh, this is how you feel. We're gonna give you 4. We're gonna give you 5. We're gonna give you 6 of them. How about
Yep.
that? Tiger, what you think?
Word.
Well. I have a different mindset about it. I do not believe in the theory.
Okay.
I do not think that it's just the men that only have daughters are the only ones that were mistreating women, because you do have men out here who have mistreated women or had a lot of women, was a community, CD, that they had all boys or they had like a
Mhm.
mixture. So that theory, no, I don't.
It doesn't resonate with you?
It doesn't resonate with me. Mm-mm,
At
no,
all?
no. And then you
Really?
have like men who have a good relationship with their mother and stuff like that, where they treated women, they weren't so kind of women, and they all had boys. So it's like, no, it doesn't. Sorry. It doesn't. I mean, but you gotta enlighten me. This
No.
is why we here, so I could like maybe have a different
Your
like
perspective
perspective.
on it,
But
right,
like
right.
right now, it's not moving me to be like. I just be like, well, no, this person over here did the same thing
Mhm.
as that one, and
Mhm.
he got
They
all
all have.
boys. He had all
Yeah.
girls. So what's the difference? So, but
Yeah. The
Kiki,
universe knows something that we don't know.
We don't know.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
that's right.
Absolutely. So for
I,
me,
I,
Right.
I'd say I'm more split on it. I hear everything you're saying. I do think that there is some type of karmic justice for some of the guys that were whores that, like we said, in back in the day, and now they have girls, and it's getting flipped on them. And I
mm,
also do see that it's some guys that, even if they treated women bad or, was, philandering and doing all these type of things, they don't get girls. And I just think it's just different lessons. Um,
okay,
so
Please expand.
okay,
as a guy myself that has two daughters, and as a guy myself that, experienced the world, the
mm,
lusciousness that it had to offer, the
mm.
beauty that it
You
had
a
to offer.
CD?
Huh? I could neither
Huh?
confirm nor deny.
Or deny?
So,
Okay.
so with that being said,
that's
um,
good. We all transparent here.
Now he can't hear,
I
huh?
would,
Yeah.
I,
Uh-huh.
I, I wouldn't say I was CD. I would say more, you know,
Mm.
you know,
Per
maybe,
Mm.
diem?
Per
huh?
You per
diem.
diem?
Housing project.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that.
He was housing project. That's
Housing
it.
project, and then at work,
Yeah.
per diem.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's it.
Oh God.
I would say
That's
I'm more
it.
equal opportunity employer, but
Okay.
that
Oh,
Okay.
EOE. Okay. That's even better.
Oh gosh.
so but yeah,
The
I
chief
would say
officer.
yeah that there was a time in life. Yes, I definitely was CD. Um, but that with that being said, I do believe that there's some guys that they need to have girls because they weren't
Hmm.
right within themselves. They didn't treat girls right. Um, and then I think it comes back to I had a girl tell me one time, "Would you allow your daughters to date you?"
Hmm.
Now, with that being said, I thought I had to think about that. It wasn't even something that I just would off top like hell yeah. I had to think like, would I? Because I know
Mm.
who I am, and a lot of these guys they know who they are. You know what right, you know what's wrong, and when it comes to how you treat women, it doesn't matter if it's cultural, it doesn't matter if it's societal. We all understand that there's a hierarchy in this world, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what happens is the lesson that you're learning, that you're gonna get a girl that was just like all the girls you were dealing with. Now you have to teach her
Mm.
what how to protect herself against a guy like you back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, the same guys that were doing all these things to these women don't want that to be done to their daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You don't
Mm-hmm.
want your daughter to be using abuse coming. Marcus don't like me anymore. Why? I gave him the cookie and now he left. I thought that's what he wanted. He told me he liked me. You know what I mean? Because at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, um, and timeline does matter, because when I would say I was CD, I would say more I was 17, 19. My mindset wasn't on let's get a relationship, let's be
Mm.
monogamous, let's build on something, and that's just where I
Mm-hmm.
was in my life. Now I have a different thought process, a different way of seeing things. I've been through things. I've dealt with different women. I've gone through heartbreak. I've gone through the ups and downs. I've gone through making mistakes. I've gone through knowing that, hey, I can't do that. I got to understand that my logical brain doesn't mold sometimes with your emotional brain, and sometimes I need a little more emotionality than logic. And that's something you learn when you have girls, because sometimes they come home and they're just and you're like, why don't you just do this? Yo, solution, solution, solution. Whereas sometimes that's not what's needed. So it's a lesson learned for certain guys. As you said, I'm a bad habit. I believe that the universe knows something that we don't. So
Mm-hmm.
just like Tiger
Mm.
said, some guys get all boys, and they was on the streets all the day, running up, down, left, right, and they
Mm-hmm.
have all boys. Why didn't he get a girl? Why didn't he get all girls? So maybe the universe knows something we don't. And that's what I'm saying. I'm split with the theory. Some
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
guys, some guys need to have girls. They
Mm.
need that to understand the emotional availability. They need to understand that they were harsh with women and they need to be a little softer. Yes, they were whores. Yes, you don't want your daughter to be one, but that's probably the karma. Let's say the guy has 5 girls. Maybe 4 come out good, one comes out to be on the streets. Can you be mad at that? She's following your footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
Can you really
Mm-hmm.
be
Right.
mad
Mm.
Right.
at them emulating the
Yeah.
good and the bad? Because at the
Yeah, no,
end
Right.
of the day, there's nothing we
I
can hide.
definitely, I would say I definitely see that because I feel like, my daughter came along because it needed to soften up my husband a
Okay.
bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Having those,
Mm-hmm.
having those three boys and still having that masculine energy. He has no sisters. You know what I'm saying? So, it was like, oh, when my daughter came, it still was like, I got a daughter. I was like, mm-hmm, sure do. Tighten
Yeah.
up,
Yeah. Because
tighten
it's
up. All y'all, tighten up.
right. Because you
Tighten
know
up.
what? Another thing too is that it doesn't, we could also, like, we're speaking on the piece of the community, CD and the whore,
Mm-hmm.
but really also the piece of, like you said, softening up, like what it means to be a woman or a girl, should say what it means to be a girl as far as when girls go through body image or
Mhm.
insecurity
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and just um actually these fathers seeing day to day what a woman goes
Yeah.
through or what a
Goes through.
girl
Mm-hmm.
goes through, and
Yeah.
so that's
Mm-hmm.
like more of an enlightenment,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
not just the
Yeah.
piece of the whoring.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like just to see, like, wow, like being soft and pink,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and being that girl dad, or how do I look dad, and then they're like, oh wow, this really,
Mm-hmm.
like, she really cares about what I, if I
Mm.
say something wrong, or if I say something that could mess up her self image,
Mm-hmm.
Right,
you
right.
Because
Mm.
know.
if
But
something
as a
happens to
man,
me,
mm,
you got to be able to still be a father and mommy to your
Mhm.
Mm.
daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I think, I mean, she was definitely what was needed. You know what I'm saying? Because he's rough and tough all
Mhm.
day long. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like, you know, even coming at her just to see that that switch where he's like, all right, I'm talking to my daughter, what I'm
Right.
saying? You still got to be mindful of the
Mm-hmm.
tone and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that because she's a female, she's emotional, she has an attitude, she's that,
Mm-hmm.
she's that, whatever the case may be. So, it's pleasant to watch, but I don't know. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm still talking about them ones that's really just out there, super disrespectful. I mean, beyond just a womanizer, like don't like women, point blank,
Mm.
period.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe the universe is trying its last ditch effort to be like,
Right.
listen, you gotta change your ways because look what I gave you now. I
Right.
gave you 3 daughters. Let's see what you do
Mm-hmm.
with this. Let's see how you treat them. Do you just single them out? Because that's the thing too. You can't just treat the daughter good and then be talking shit about the mom and
Right.
and carrying on. You know what I'm saying? Because she's gonna look at life like, okay, my dad loves me, but this is how men are. They will
Right.
talk
Right.
to you like shit. They will treat you like this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the new trauma that you got her having to
Mm-hmm.
carry on. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mhm.
Well, with that,
mm,
like I think, like to your point, the love doesn't change. It's just the approach. Because you're
mhm,
not gonna
Mm-hmm.
love the daughter. Some guys may or may not, but for me, I wouldn't love one more than the other, or love my daughter more than my son, or my son vice versa. I just think
mhm,
that my approach to them would be a little different. The characteristics I want to instill in them would be a little different, because you already know in a society it's okay for men to go out and whore, because we're not saying that,
mhm,
oh, it's a bad thing. We're It's an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Half
Mhm.
the time there's an expectation men will cheat. There's an expectation men are gonna go out. You get what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it's been
mhm,
normalized. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
it's not
mhm,
okay if a girl does that.
Right.
So
mhm,
and that's a different story. But I think as a as a man, you want to instill certain virtues into your daughter. And that's what comes when you understand that, hey, I was a whore. All I wanted was one thing. So now, hey, all these little boys just want one thing, and da 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 da. And now you want to teach her, hey, this is how you spot this. This is how you really spot somebody just for you. This is how you really spot this. You got to try this. Why would you think like that? And it's hard not to, because they're going to emulate the good and bad of you, but
Right.
it's still their journey.
Mhm.
So you
Do you think
have
that was your
to.
karma?
Do I think that that was my karma?
You have
I
Good
would.
question,
It's a
Tiger.
huh?
great question.
I,
I would say it's a good karma to have, um,
Oh.
because I have two wonderful daughters. Um,
Mm.
And I would say yes, it was definitely my karma, because I I wasn't emotionally available as I am now. I didn't understand certain things about women, and I think like that's really the core of the problem between men and women. We don't
Mm.
sit down and take the time to say, you're a man, you like it like XYZ. I'm a woman, I like
mhm,
it like XYZ. We just try to always button heads. So in reality, I think that it was a part of my karma, because at times when I was young, I would do certain things. I would, use women for their bodies in my head, thinking it was a mutual beneficial situation. But in reality,
mhm,
I'm not gonna understand that because I'm a guy. I'm not gonna understand that your virtue means everything. Me giving you this was more than just me giving it to you. I was giving you a part of myself. But for me, I was just
mhm.
thinking, oh, okay, let me hit. Thank you.
Mm.
So and now it's a different thought process. I'm not gonna sit here just lay up with everybody, not just because of STDs and unplanned pregnancies. It's because like you hold that to a higher you should hold that to a higher standard. You shouldn't be out here giving everybody everything, because then now you're confused on who to pick, because then you're gonna end up Frankensteining somebody, because you're gonna be like, I like Jim because he did this, I like him because he had that, I like him. You're gonna have
Mm.
too many options.
Sad.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
mm-hmm.
that's where, as a man, I'm gonna have to instill chastity into my girls. And it is crazy to say that it is a part of my karma, because I in my thought process, like back to like the would you allow your daughter to date someone exactly like you,
Mhm.
is is what did I do in, like, looking back? What did I do that was so egregious? That was so salacious to women. Was
Mm.
I like making them walk home? Was I like kicking them out? Was I just really just taking them for what, taking their virtue and just throwing them out the window? I personally don't think I was doing that.
But
But
what were you doing?
Mm. Mhm.
like I said before, I felt like we was in a mutually
Safe,
beneficial
safe
situation.
space.
And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm
Uh-huh.
saying at that time my thought process was that. I know now it was wrong. I
It was
know
wrong.
It's
now,
okay. We all have a hotel.
right? I know now that I never had any intentions of growing a relationship with you. I never had, you know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like, and looking back at it,
Mm.
and I'm saying for my younger self. And then when so I'm 36 now, so like when I was 17, 18, 19, that's where I was. When I was 20, it was a little more like, yes, I would deal with girls and, actually, take my time and get to know them and see what they're about. And then as you get older, you grow. um I think that having daughters is the final boss, like, it's
Mm.
the final step to your evolution. um
Mm.
because a lot of the things is like, my brain is wired in a certain way, in a certain cultural way, in a certain way,
Mm.
that environmental way, and how I grew up, Queens, New York, Haitian American, like stuff like that. I have a thought process, and
Mm.
it's hard to get away from that. And how I was raised and things I saw. So with that being said, I feel like, my environment played a part. It was all about, yeah, let's go get some women, let's go do this, let's go do that. And we're not
Mm.
thinking about how that it would affect the women. We're just thinking
That's
Consequences.
about
what.
a good time.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Ah,
and I get it. Sometimes, hey, women too, go out, let's go have a good time. I'm looking for some meat tonight. I'm looking to have a good time.
Mhm.
Cool.
mhm.
But
A meat
it came
tonight?
down to how I was
He
using
said
women
meat.
when I how I was using women, and how there wasn't that emotional, stability and availability for them.
Hmm.
Because
No.
there was a time where it wasn't like I was being honest with you, telling you like, oh, I'm gonna give you a relationship, we're gonna talk, and this is what we're doing. It was just, yo,
Mhm.
there's a means to an end. And
Yeah.
would I want that for my daughter? No. The younger
Right.
version of me, would I want my daughter to date him? Hell no. This
Hmm.
version of me now, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um,
And you
because
could
you
tell
go
those
through
kind of
these things.
stories to your daughter.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, you got to tell those kind of stories. Like, listen,
I
I
was
used
I,
to
Right.
be an
I was
a-hole.
CD.
Because then
Right.
that lets them
Right.
know, right? That lets them know, like, not everybody is perfect. And I don't want to make
Right.
it seem like, everybody out here who has daughters is they was hoes and disrespectful, whatever.
Right.
I have plenty
Right.
of family members that have just all girls. They're
Right.
phenomenal
Yes.
That's that
fathers.
too.
I've known them
Upstanding
before having
citizens.
kids.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I've known them
Yes.
Right.
before having kids, and I would have never thought that was their karma. But like I said before, there's this little small little population that I'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's your
definitely.
ass.
That's your karma.
Right.
That's your
But that's
ass.
why I said I
You
was
know.
split, because like for the guy that has nothing but girls, like I said, like you said, the universe has a lesson to teach them. And what if their
Hmm.
lesson was that maybe they weren't bad to girls, maybe they weren't whores,
Mhm.
but maybe they needed
Yeah.
that extra, emotional availability, and now they're able
Hmm.
to be a little softer. Now they're able to
Okay.
understand their wives a little better.
All
Because
right.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I can
again,
get with that.
I again at the end of the day, we're governed by two different things. Not to get too biological, testosterone and estrogen,
Hmm.
logic, emotion. You get what I'm
Hmm.
Hmm.
saying? So me, my daughter coming and I had a bad day and da 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 da. And for me, I'm like, yo, this is what you're gonna do tomorrow. You're gonna fix it. It's not gonna be like that, da da da. She didn't care about a solution. She just wanted to tell you how she felt about her day. And that's
Right.
it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I would never know that if I didn't have a daughter. Because normally when
Mm.
my significant other or person I'm dating or anybody would come and be like, yo, I had a bad day at work. And I'd be like, what happened? Tisha did this. And I'd be like, yo, so you need to tell Tisha and da 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 da. You know what I mean? Then it get into like, yo, a big problem because she wasn't looking for a solution.
She was
Now,
just looking
how
to
I
be her.
talk to an adult is different than how I'm going to talk to my children. I'm still going to talk to them the way I um, would talk to an adult, but I would modify my response. So it
Right.
wouldn't. I would catch myself like if an adult we get in an argument, it just boom, we're butting heads. Oh no, I have my thought, you have my thought. But when you're talking to a young girl, you got to sit there and be like, well, but da da da, and you got to sit there and actually sit back and relax. It teaches you patience. It teaches you understanding. These are the things that some of the guys that weren't whores or harsh with women had to learn: understanding, patience, softness,
Kindness. Right.
your kindness.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Right.
wasn't a douchebag, but maybe he wasn't a patient person. Maybe he
Okay.
was patient, but maybe he had a temper. You know, maybe
Right.
his daughter softened him up. Daddy, come, calm down. It's gonna be okay. Oh, and you,
Mhm.
that is a beautiful thing to have.
Right.
You
And
know.
you know what's so crazy too? Like just going back to what I'm a bad habit. Shout out to those men too who
Mm,
do have daughters where they raise their daughters to be leaders, and they
Right.
raise their daughters to, like, just because they didn't have a son, but they raised their daughters
Right.
as if they were like sons. Like they taught them about how to fix a car,
Right.
money management, all of
mm-hmm.
those kind of things that to make them witty or sharp out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So there is, like I said, that theory doesn't apply to everyone,
Right.
right? Because there's some men out here who have daughters that really done right by them
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
didn't need to have a daughter to learn emotional intelligence. They
Right.
Right.
already had
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
They already had it.
But
Right.
they already had it, but they poured into their daughters maybe a little bit of more masculinity as
Right.
well.
Right.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mhm.
Because I feel I like those women who, like, yo, my daughter, my dad taught me how to change a tire. You know
Right.
what I mean? My dad that so it can flip on the other side as well.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing because maybe that's what he needed. Maybe that was his journey. Maybe his
Right.
journey was that he was going to have girls and he was going to be able to give them the knowledge that they have. Because, we have different women in this world. Some want to be princesses, some want to be career driven, and all
Mhm.
that is okay. Different strokes for
Right.
different folks. You get
Right.
what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Don't get muddled up in what you think you want. You know, I like it would be different between a man and a woman. So like, for if I had a son and he was like started dating, I would tell him, listen, the best thing for you is never go for the girl you want because she don't want you. And at the end of the day, you choose. They choose. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Go for the girl that likes you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
We hold the
Mhm.
key to relationship. Y'all hold the key to the box. You get what I'm
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Right.
you can
And
refute it
and
if you want. I just feel like that's what I've seen. Like we're never gonna get in a relationship if I don't agree with it. Because ultimately isn't that what you want? Relationship, marriage, house, kids.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
If
the
I don't
word.
get on my knees,
Mhm.
how we gonna get married?
Mm.
If I
Mm.
don't tell you, yo, look, be my girl, how we gonna be boyfriend girlfriend? That's just my thought process. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that is right. I'm not saying that we can't have a conversation. I'm just saying that this is the themes that I've seen. You know,
Mhm.
if you don't want to give it up, I'm not getting some. Us as men, we always horny. We always want.
Got
Mhm.
it.
So if you don't want to give it up, it ain't happening. And at the end of the day, these are the things you're gonna have to teach your sons as well and your daughters. Is that listen, that conversation that I'm saying that I'm having with my son, like, yo, go for the girl that likes you. She's the
Right.
one that's gonna be for you, and and then the same thing for my girl. Listen, look for a man that's gonna emulate the things you like, not the ball or the flashy dude, because he just gonna run to the next one and the next one. You want to go for the guy that's kind, that sees, oh man, I saw that you like red flowers. I saw one and I got it for you. Here you go. You gonna want the
Mm.
one that's gonna pour into you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So really quickly before we segue, Tiger. So I know in the beginning you just said that you didn't really believe that. So have we? Me and
I
I'm a bad habit.
waited.
Did we change a little bit, or do you understand our perspective? What's your final thoughts? She's like, nope.
She's staying pat. She like, nah.
I mean, I hear, I'm listening. And I'm like, ooh, yes, okay. There's certain points I do, but as far as like, I still stand true to my theory or to my thought process of the fact that no, not all men's with that theory of men who only have daughters. That no,
No. Okay.
I don't
So,
All
know.
so
right.
basically,
So
it's a
It hasn't
select few.
changed,
It's
it's
like a
a
huh?
small population of men, and I just think that, like for me, I'm split. Like, yes, there's certain men that needed needed daughters, and there's certain men that it was their journey to have daughters so that they can pour into them, make because
okay.
at the end of the day, it's our job as parents is to pour into them and make them the best person they are. Because at the end of the day, whenever you're 30, 40, you make your own decisions. I can't tell you what to do. I just hope that I taught you enough that you can be happy in life.
Got
Right.
it. What about you, Abba by habit? What's your final thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, I'm very action based. So, I still stand on it. At the end of the day, I know it doesn't just, that's just the particular thing that it's
Right.
just one sided. But I definitely do think is holding some weight. I think this is some karma for for men, whichever way it goes.
Right.
Because
Right.
karma doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's just something
That's
like I got to bring this to you because you wasn't going to learn a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Now I need
Mm,
you to learn this lesson. Because, like I said with my husband, I think my daughter having her softened him up a bit. You know what I'm saying? Even living with me for, as a woman and stuff like that, now because it's his daughter, it's like, oh, damn, I was like that when you was, you was a
agreed.
little harsh when my stomach was
Mm-hmm.
cramping and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? But I still stand on it. Men out here do right by these women. And you know
Yep.
what? Hold yourselves accountable too, because you're the ones that's sleeping with these men, having these kids, knowing that he already was, a dirt bag out here cheating and doing whatever, never respected you from the gate, slept with you tonight, slept with your friend tomorrow, and now you're
Mm.
gonna sit here and talk about, oh, it's your karma that you got a daughter. Like, why would you even set yourself up for that BS? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I still stand on it. I'll be good to
oh
these women out here in any aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And
word.
you won't have to worry about the universe. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
come back to
Giving
you.
you karma. Oh my
Right.
God.
Yo,
Yo.
and another thing, these
Okay.
men also, I feel like we need to practice discernment. Just like I'm a bad habit said, life is all about discernment.
That is a fact.
And if we as men and you guys as women practice more discernment, we wouldn't be having
Mhm.
these issues. And I agree with you tenfold that if we
Mhm.
practice discernment, we wouldn't be like, oh, look, my baby daddy, oh, this girl, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
Because yeah, in the moment, it's good, it's fire, it's tight, ooh, it's
Right.
good,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get it,
Mhm.
but
Mm,
10 years in, you know,
right.
That theory I believe
Yeah.
in. That discernment.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we love it here at the stoop, don't we?
Definitely.
That we do.
Oh my
That
We
we
gotta go
goodness.
do.
home.
Huh?
No, we gotta
Yes,
go
we
home.
yeah, we
Oh,
gotta go
Yo,
home.
yo,
But
party over.
but no
Party
no
done. Is that
but
what they
this
say?
but this is what I want to say though. I do want to all my viewers, I do want to kind of share a little highlight or shout out to the men. I want them to kind of comment a little bit more on the comment
Mm-hmm.
section as far as like, men with daughters, right?
Right.
What
mhm.
are what is do they feel like um just basically their perspective.
Yeah.
Do they feel like they were whores, or is there some type of karmic energy? Or no, no, that didn't happen. No, they love their daughters. They didn't mistreat women.
Yeah, it
They
was
didn't
just
need that
happenstance.
lesson. Right. It never. It
Right.
was just happenstance. Right.
Right.
Oh my goodness, guys. We love it here at the Stoop, don't we?
That we do. We love
Yes,
it.
we do. So thank you, Kiki, for joining us, right? To giving us the yo, I'm a bad Hannah. You
Yo,
too much for me. She letting everybody know.
Look at the
Stoop
merch.
size,
that's
sit
right.
down.
Fat,
Yep.
fat.
So make sure you check us you check us on our social media platform on our link tree. We're on X, we are on TikTok,
Yep.
www.sitdown. I'm sorry, a Stoop Side Sit Down podcast. I'm excited. And also on a YouTube. You can make sure you press the subscribe button. And thank you for joining us. All right.
Thank
So, like I
you.
said, I'm your girl, Just Tash. Yeah.
A bad habit, the one you love to love.
And I am Tiger. I'm always tigering.
Yes, you are.
Oh, yes, you are. Yo, make sure you check us out on our next episode. Ba ba
Yes,
ba
yes.
Bye
ba.
bye. Bye.
Yes.